Mike, what do you think of RCB Unbox? What do you think of this madness that's happening right beside RCB Bar and Cafe?
Yeah, well, I turned up at 11:30 this morning expecting it to be a quiet start, but it was far from that. So by the time 12 o'clock started and they opened the gates, it was pretty crazy, to be honest. And obviously we've got quite a nice vantage point here in the RCB Cafe and Bar, just looking down and waving and sort of smiling at all the fans, and they're pretty excited, and obviously it gives us a real buzz.
What do you think the players will be going through? Because we have Faf du Plessis, we have Dinesh Karthik, Harshal Patel, who've come down and they are looking at so many fans just screaming and just showing their love for RCB.
Yeah, I mean those guys, plus probably the new boys as well. I mean Shahbaz Ahmed, hasn't played a game here before. Lovenat Sisodia, he was sort of his eyes wide open. Anishwa Gautam, a couple of local boys who have obviously grown up being RCB fans, and now, standing up on the balcony, looking down and just hanging out with some of their, the guys they've looked up to for a long time. So, look, they're all excited. We've just had a quick bite to eat here, and the atmosphere is still electric. So, and they're pretty pumped about the whole thing.
Let's talk about this season, and now that the players are set, now that the captaincy has been announced as well, talk to us about the kind of thinking that's gone behind this.
Look, we obviously knew heading into a 10-team auction that we had to be pretty smart around trying to get some buys that will give us some real output that people don't know much about. And we've picked a few exciting guys that will actually have some key roles to play. So that will evolve over time. You don't want to give too much away, but we certainly stress getting a really strong bowling attack. And you look at all the sides that've done well in the IPL. Having a strong bowling attack is critical. So we spent a lot of time on that, and our seam attack is experienced. With Harshal, Siraj, Hazelwood, to name three, and obviously even without Hazelwood, you've got Berendorf, you've got David Willey, who are both highly experienced. And from a spin bowling point of view, Hasaranga is world class in terms of how he operates. He also gives us that all-round ability to lengthen our batting as well, which is so important in these games. And from a batting point of view, we've got some explosive players that complement the likes of Faf and Virat and DK, who sort of bring that experience.
Right, and now that it's been 14 years of legacy of RCB, moving into the 15th as well, at this juncture, it may feel like you're rebuilding the team in a way, Virat Kohli being a strong support pillars. However, the rest of the team is all new, more or less.
Yeah, look, we've got six. We've got 7 players back from last year's squad, and that's important to have some continuity. Look, we would have loved to have had a little bit more, but the price point for some of our players just made things a little bit challenging. And because they've done so well the last couple of years, they're actually in high demand, which to be fair, you wish them well. The guys are getting what they deserve, but every 3 years you get a new challenge in terms of trying to develop a culture, trying to grow the culture from what it already is. And we're lucky RCB's got such a strong culture, and some players, the likes of Virat, Siraj, who's a really important member, Harshal, who actually the guys will be coming in and adapting to the RCB culture. It'll be a little bit modified again on last year because there'll be different personalities, but a lot of those fundamentals will still apply.
Right. Talk to me about a few players that surprised you. Of course, they did catch your attention. That's the reason why they are part of the RCB team as such. But now that they are part of the camp, now that the interactions have started happening, what do you think of these guys?
Well, hugely talented. And I think the challenge for us as a coaching group and as a support staff group and probably a senior player group, is to actually allow them to play. And as I said, we've got enough sort of craft around them. We want these young guys to come in and express themselves, and often that can be said, but you have to have an environment where they're actually able to fail a bit as well, and able to come out and try and be brilliant. And that's what we want these guys to do. It won't happen every time, but if they have a day, there'll be some of these RCB supporters will be standing up and going, wow, we want to lock this guy in for a few years.
Right. Well, the team has a lot of love, support and respect. Irrespective of the fact that you win or lose a match, the team still is being adored for a lot of reasons. How have you seen this support being carried out through on the team?
Well, it's genuine. You know, I think the reason why you can build a culture and build a team with consistent success, and we're all well aware we haven't won a trophy yet, but that's just around the corner. But the reason you get a successful performance is because you create an environment that allows people to play. And that's what we try and do. And we're lucky that our fans are, they have a high expectation, which is great, but they also respect that if guys get stuck in and they give it absolutely everything, that's all they can ask. And to be fair, as a support staff, that's all we can ask as well.
Right. You are more or less a Bangalorean, I feel. I see you here at the RCB Bar and Cafe, and you seem to be making your way to Delhi and back. You've been in India for quite some time now, and are you missing home? What's the scene, or is this home now?
Well, Bangalore's definitely been home. I've been here since 10 days before the auction, and been here right through. So a little bit of a combination of the fact borders are closed in New Zealand, which has made it challenging to get home, which I probably knew was a possibility before the auction. But also there's work to do. There's players to get to know. There's some sessions to have. There's a lot of planning to take place, and it's been a lot easier by being here. But yeah, no doubt I miss my girls at home and can't wait to see them. But I'd love to go back and see them with an IPL title behind us.
Nothing would be better than that. Thank you so much, Mike.
Pleasure, thank you.